Hey, John Dowdy. So you're asking me what's the necessary equipment to get started with podcasting, and you're on the road a lot and at events. So what's the best equipment? The events you're at or outside? Okay, so I don't know. Like the advice I'm gonna have is probably different than a lot of other people's advice as far as podcasting, because a lot of people tend to sort of geek out on all the podcasting stuff, right? And so my suggestion, all right, here's my suggestion is basically for like the podcasting equipment. I just use whatever, right? Like I record with a $25 headset from Logitech. I record with my phone. But as far as like external stuff, I mean, I've seen people kind of get too crazy with like they'll get all a couple of like lavalier mics, and they'll get all this mixing boards to go on the road and all this stuff. And what I would just say is to use your smartphone to do it, and either get a like an iRig on the low ends or an Apogee mic on the high end, and just kind of have your phone with you, plug it in, have the mic, and just kind of set it on the table there. And I would find like a quiet place, a quiet little corner to record your podcast. Just because like I don't know, like a lot of the lavalier mics, right, like the mics where they kind of clip to your shirt, they've just been like either like really crappy quality, or like they just don't work well with an iPhone. So an iRig or an Apogee. So like iRig and like iRig iPhone. Trying to find the one that I know of. It's not the guitar adapter. Let me try like iRig microphone. Um, Handheld. Yeah, like something like this, right? Just like buy the little pack. It has the lightning connector, and you can just sit it on a table between the two of you and just both kind of talk into it. Because I mean the problem, which you might know with when you have two microphones, both microphones kind of pick up both sides, and it's this whole thing. And I don't know, like me personally, I like to avoid a bunch of equipment, a bunch of like things going wrong. I don't want to have that one cable I need break, stuff like that. And so $100 or $80 if you have the need to podcast in person. And I mean, I've done all my interviews just on Skype, right? Because like, everyone has it. I don't have to leave the house, and that's something to keep in mind is if you're going to some of these events, see if you can reach out and get some of these interviews knocked out before the event. That way, you kind of double dip, right? You get interviews before the event and after the event. And the other, like the higher end, is the Apogee microphone for iPhone, and I think this comes with a stand. So this is like, yeah, $200, and so it has the stand, and so you can see how, if we can get the picture working, you can kind of see in this picture, right? Kind of stands up and then plugs into your iPad. And so I mean, I wouldn't overthink it. I wouldn't get a bunch of like fancy equipment. I wouldn't even get two microphones. I would just get just like a mic right there, put it on the table between the two of you, and that way you can get that interview kind of going. And that way you can get the audio file done, and then go and edit it and put it online later. This is probably common sense, but I wouldn't worry about live streaming at an event just yet. I wouldn't worry about making sure it goes live that day or anything. Like, just stack up the interviews at the event, and then when you get home, go ahead and do it. But I think that there's definitely something to having a microphone that just plugs into your smartphone. That way you can just record on your smartphone using their built-in sound recorder. That way you cut down on the equipment, and then you don't have to deal with those stupid lavalier mics, because I really hate those dang things. Okay, so Apogee mic on the high end, and then an iRig on the low end. That's just my suggestion for recording a podcast interview at live events. So I hope that helps, and I hope that makes a lot of sense. So I'm Robert Plank from podcastcrusher.com. Thanks for writing in, John. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.